This has been a pretty crazy first full year of me buying and selling sports cards. I've made a lot of mistakes, I've learned a lot, and I also made a decent amount of money so far. Let's talk about it. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing all my profits so far this year, all my inventory in terms of monetary and also in cards as well, and then going over what cards are at PSA right now, as well as my future plans for the rest of the year, what cards I'm buying, what cards I'm staying away from, and my overall strategy with that. So hopping over here to my Excel spreadsheet, I made this little spreadsheet myself. It looks a little bit rough, but it gets the job done, and I'm going to work on making it a little bit cleaner. But as you guys can see, I have about $3,000, a little bit under cash on hand in the negative, so I'm actually in the hole, but we'll explain that here in a bit. I have spent about $12,000 so far. That's going to come from my purchases tab here, where I've added up all of my purchases throughout the year. Just included this year. I've bought some cards last year, but I'm not going to include those. And then unsold inventory, about $2,500. And I've made over $1,000 so far profit from grading. Then I have a little bit of profit from, I've made about over $1,000 total profit, 900 profit from grading, and about 300 profit from raw, which is on the low side. I want to bump those numbers up for sure. And then I've spent about $500 on my PC. And then hopping over to my PSA submissions, right now I have 2 orders going in. I have a Value Plus, which includes all these cards: Bo Nix Hollow, Caitlin Clark, Fractal, Stephon Castle, Silver Prism. I have 3 of those, 3 Cooper Flag Black Waves, and 3 Cooper Flag Sapphire. So pretty good order here. Should be back within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully that does well. And then I have a Value Bulk order as well, which is 29 cards, a lot of Stephon Castles, a lot of Jared McCain rookies, just a lot of NBA players. Don't really have any football in here, I don't think. I have some wrestling cards like this Liv Morgan here. I got some Juju Watkins as well. So pretty diverse. Oh, there's a Brian Thomas Jr. and Brock Bowers actually, but pretty diverse order right here. Hopefully those do well, and hopefully I get those back here in the next couple of weeks as well. All right, so now we've gone over all the financials. You guys have seen how much cash I have on hand, the total amount of money I've spent so far, about $12,000. All the cards at PSA, which is about $1,400, as well as my total profit so far, which is roughly $1,200. Now let's look at all my unsold inventory, which, like I mentioned before, is about $2,500. That does not include the profit I'm expected to make on these cards. That is solely the expense of these cards, how much I paid for them. So hopefully that number is actually larger, maybe in that $3,000 to $3,200 range. So yeah, let's take a quick look at what we got here. This is kind of my bigger card. I mean, I have some other cards in my inventory, but I just pulled out some cards that I thought were kind of cool. Some Josh Hoover, Ricochet, Caleb Downs auto, Cortland Sutton. Have a few of his cards, have some on ComC as well. This Buzelis actually looks pretty good. I've seen a lot of PSA 10s that are off-centered, so this one is a little bit off-centered right to left, but overall looks pretty good, so I think I'm going to send this in when I get the chance. I have some other cool cards here. This is a super short print or case hit of Castle Revolution. Got a Drew Allar auto, Bianca Belair black out of 10. So some cool cards in my inventory. I'm looking to actually auction all of these cards off, or most of them at least, not all of them, but a lot of my football cards before the season starts. I really want to liquidate. That's my strategy so far, so I guess we can get into that right now. My strategy is to liquidate pretty much everything before the next CSA show in October, which is the local card show for me, or one of them in the DMV area. I am pretty excited for that, and I want to have as much cash on hand there to play around with. So I'm really going to try to liquidate all of these cards, all my cards at PSA right now. I might send a really small submission to PSA here in the next couple weeks, which is Buzelis and maybe a few other cards. But for the most part, all of my cards I want to be gone before the CSA show. So even that might come back in time as well. But I have a lot of, cool smaller cards, but I think should do well. So another thing I wanted to kind of explore the idea of is Whatnot. I've been a pretty big Whatnot hater just because I don't, the whole culture of people spending way more than cards go for isn't really my thing. And you can find some steals on there too, but I'll be sitting in streams for, with 10, 20 viewers that I can actually find deals in for, 10, 15 minutes, and I can't, they don't have good cards that I can't, it's a waste of time. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure people find good stuff there, but just not for me. So, but I am starting to think about dabbling into Whatnot, selling on there, because a lot of cards I look up after they sold on Whatnot, and I'm like, why would someone buy that for 3 times what it goes for on eBay? So, I mean, I don't know if that's a smart decision to dabble into the Whatnot game as a seller, but as a buyer, I'm going to stay away. I actually did just buy like one Hannah Hidalgo card because I had a $15 credit from a YouTube link, but I'm going to stay away there from buying, but I may start actually selling on there here in the near future. So that's kind of my bulk of my inventory right here. That Justin Jefferson's included. That Cortland Sutton's included in my inventory, as well as that Bryce Young. So that's like, I don't know, $1,000 or so of inventory right there, give or take. Probably take a little bit, maybe 800, 900. That's a pretty big portion. But I have other cards here like this Jalen Wells I just got, Liv Morgan, Justin Herbert. So I have some cool stuff, but really looking to get rid of all this kind of stuff and move into different cards here in the next couple months as the NFL season starts to kick off and basketball season starts to ramp up again. So now we've talked about all the financials, we've talked about my inventory, and we talked a little bit about my strategy for the year. I do want to mention that I also am planning on still doing some raw to grade. I'm still going to start buying a little bit slowly, ramping it down though, up until the CSA show, but that's going to be my big reset moment right there. So that's kind of my strategy. Now let's quickly talk about my channel goals and my content creation goals, I would say, as well as my profit goals. As you guys know, this is a new YouTube channel. I've been posting for a couple months now, but I'm just starting to kind of take it seriously. I'm going to invest a little bit more, maybe in a mic and some better lighting. I know it's kind of, there's some glare right there, so that's got to fix that. But going to start investing a little bit more in that, taking that more seriously, as well as my TikTok, YouTube Shorts. So look for improvements there. I know right now they're gaining some traction, but I have a lot of work to do. So I've been taking notes, going back to other card content creators and looking at their past videos when they first started. And honestly, I'm on the kind of same trajectory as them, at least in the first few months of their channel. So hopefully within the next year or so, I can really start to ramp up my channel and my social media and content creation, as well as my profits. So I would love to have a couple hundred subs by the end of the year. I think that's a realistic goal for me. And maybe by the end of next year, have 1,000 or 2,000, as well as I would like to be at $3,000 profit in cards by the end of the year. I'm at, 1,200 right now, not including all this inventory I have to sell, as well as my cards at PSA. So I could very well be, if a lot of my cards gem at PSA right now, I could even be at that at the current moment. But I would say that a lot of cards at PSA now have not so great gem rates, so I'm not expecting all of them to gem, or the vast majority of them to gem. So I would say $3,000 is the safe number for me, for my goal, and then hopefully next year I can be double or triple that, in that $6,000 to $10,000 range. So that's kind of my card journey so far in 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something and were entertained. Thank you guys for following along my card journey. If you guys liked the video, please don't be shy. Leave a comment. I'll gladly, respond back. I'll reply to all comments down below, as well as drop a like. And if you like the content enough, drop a sub. I would greatly appreciate it. And I promise my videos are going to get better and better. I'm just really starting to learn, watch some other videos, podcasts and stuff. So hopefully this content thing and this YouTube thing will start taking off here in the next few months. So really appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more content, some more news and updates on my channel and my eBay store. And yeah, thank you guys. Peace.